I've been here a lot. Today's the dreaded day in which we have to clean this out. And I'm going to show you how to use a pond vac. There's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to pond vacs. I'll show you mine. See what you think. Mine's the Pontec Pondomatic 1686 1400 watt Uva. Comes with all these attachments. I purchased mine second hand, so it didn't come with all the attachments. I had to buy these separate. This one's brilliant if you've got a thick liner, but it can be quite harsh. These are all the best bits. As you can see, I've used it before. So I'm going to set it up now and show you how to use it. I'll be back with you in a second. Right, I'm going to start off with this end. Probably the best end you can use on the pond vac. I'm going to turn it on now. You're going to have 3 or 4 minutes of noise. It will stop and start, and I'll explain all that to you in a bit. So. I'll show you in a second how it all works. Does stop starting, it does self-empty on the stop. It's really good at removing some of the crap. But I'll show you how this attachment works. I will show you one of the disadvantages in a minute of using a pond vac. I'll show you another attachment as well. So we'll wait for this to empty. I'll turn it off now and it'll self-empty as soon as you turn it off. Then we'll change it out for another attachment. We'll change it out for another attachment. The other attachment I find really useful is this one. That really gets the crap off the bottom of your pond. I'll just go and turn it back on. I'll show you up the top here how good this attachment is. Like I said, using a pond vac can be quite long-winded, to be honest with you. I will have to do another process after this, and I'll show you the full process of the cleaning out the pond. Sometimes it does that. Oh, just missed it. But it spews out over the side. It's alright, I'll go and get the rest of this emptied. It's not worth showing you the other attachment. This is okay for light fish mess. This is okay, but it can be a bit harsh. Can be a bit harsh, especially if you've got a thin liner. I mean, the liner on my koi pond is quite thin. I wouldn't fancy using it, to be honest. That's a rubber based liner in this one, and if I show you, I'll probably show you easy by hand. As you can see, it knocks it off really well. But you are liable of putting an hole in your liner with that one. So I'll empty it, then I'll go through the pros and cons, and I'll show you the other cleaning process all on this. So there we go, it's just finished emptying the pond. There's the bits where I did with the tools. There you go. The little brush piece, I can't even see where I've done it on the pond, to be honest. That bit there is what I did with that just by hand. I also want to show you my garden, which is one of the disadvantages of a pond vac. Hear it? My garden now, my lawn is an absolute mess. It's waterbound. It's a bigger disadvantage to pond vacs, but I'll explain more to that in the end of the video. Right, here we go. Your best alternative, use a pressure washer. I'm going to do half of this pond, and then I'm going to show you the results. Like I said, that's what the pond vac did. I'm going to use the pressure washer and show you what the pressure washer does. And there we go, 40 minutes later, and I'll show you the results. That's just done with the pressure washer. That there's the reflection off the plants there. So we've gone from this to this. Can you remove 100% of the algae? No, you can't. It would be impossible. That algae still is on the liner there. It's all under there. But neither would the pond vac remove as much as what I could do with a pressure washer. I'm going to hit this again and finish off the other side and show you the complete thing. And I think I'll fill it tomorrow now. And then we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the pond vac. And there we go, I've just finished. Like I said, I can't get rid of some of it. That's quite residual left, some of that stuff there. I will swirl it out again. You won't get rid of 100% of the algae, like I said before, but I certainly can get rid of the bulk of it. If this was an up and running pond and it had got a bad algae problem, I would use clover leaf. It's the best £20 you will spend on any product you can have for your pond. Well worth it. I'm going to nip and have my tea now, and then I'll come back and we'll do a filter cleaning video to go with it. Right, here I am, fed and watered. Right, we'll get to the filter now. I'll show you the filter. just a very simple APS filter. We'll take it apart, we'll take a look at it together, and then we'll clean it. There we go. UVB and a bit of sponge, then your pump, bit of filter media just in here. If I can I just pop that up? There we go. There we go. When it works wonders, but it can get caked up quite easily. So I'll give it a pressure wash and give it a good clean off. Then I'll show you how to test your bulb, make sure your bulb's working all okay. Right, IPS recommends, if I flick, that you take this off using this little flap thing here. Take it off, expose the quartz sleeve, and just under here should be a little test button. But at the end of the day, nobody likes burnt retinas, so I'll show you an easy way. We can view it like that. So I'll just plug you in. The pump should start going. And as you can see, I was wrong. I thought the UVB had gone, and it hasn't. So if I stop this now, I'll get all the filter back together, pop it in the pond, and there we go, done and dusted. Filter all back together, looking all nice. Like I said, you're not going to get rid of 100% of the algae. There will always remain some, especially around the edges and underneath the flaps, as I showed you before. Can we see that? If this was an up and running pond, I'd use clover leaf powder, the algae stuff, anti-algae stuff. They do a follow-up treatment as well for when you've used it to keep on top of the algae. But yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll go with that. I think it's time to eat a bit of humble pie with the old pond vac. Are pond vacs worth the money? No, they're not now. There is easier alternatives. A pump would work better, as the pond vac has got to be on the same level as its waste pipe. So if you look up the top of my garden there's my drain, just there, behind that little white gate thing. Even if the hose was long enough, it wouldn't push it up that far. It's quite cumbersome to use as well, quite hard to use. I mean, I'm speaking from a perspective of an above ground pool. Maybe if you've got an in-ground pool, you know, a ground level pool, and maybe access to a drain, because otherwise that's what happens to your garden. What you're seeing there is algae. All the crap out of that pond that I've hoovered up with it, and there we go. The ground itself is absolutely soaked. Like I said, there is an easier alternative. Buy yourself a pressure washer and buy yourself an half decent pump, and you could put a long enough hose up into your drain. But yeah, there we go. There you go. Some of the tools for it, they can be a bit harsh on your lines, to be honest with you. I mean, the pond I've just done is a rubber base liner, and it's quite forgiving. But some liners, they're not so forgiving as rubber is. So there you go then, yo lot. There's your fill for the day. If you like my video, subscribe and like, and hit the notification buttons for my next video. Until then, catch you later.